Good morning. This is actually the second railway siding out of Port Augusta on the way to Alice Springs, called Bookaloo railway siding. It's where I actually finished the last video, the best option. And we're back again 12 months after the first video, and we're going to take a trip up to Alice Springs. We're going to go back to Coober Pedy and then up to Oodnadatta and then back to the turnoff where we were on the last video, the best option. This video is called Backtrack to Alice, and we're going to go from Oodnadatta to Dalhousie, up through Fink, Chambers Pillar to Alice Springs, and then we're going to go from Alice Springs out to Ruby Gap Gorge, and then probably back to Alice, and then back down the highway via Rainbow Valley, possibly go down and see Lake Eyre on the way back. Lake Eyre is apparently dry at the moment. The water's still coming down, but it's dry at the moment. So I saw it with water in last time, so we might walk on dry Lake Eyre this time. So we'll see how we go. So here we go. 12 months later, backtrack to Alice. I was watching Survivor, the last episode of the Americans dropped off in Australia last night on telly, and it struck me as humorous that they dropped the Americans off to survive in what I would call one of the lusher parts of Australia in the north. I reckon to put the Yanks back in their place, they should have dropped them in a place like this. Then we'll see who survives. But anyway, coming into Woomera, and we've got the occasional car going along the road. All very desolate, and I reckon if the Americans survived out here for, what was it, 42 days, it'd be a little bit more of an achievement than where they were. Beautiful country. Like I said, you drop the Americans on Survivor out here and see how long they'd last out here. Absolutely beautiful. Back at Glendambo, having a bite to eat.
What was that? Your four-way flashes are still on.
It's a very uninteresting road, the Stewart Highway. That's why I haven't been filming very much. There's not a lot to see. There's just a road and the flat gibber out there. We've got a lot of stones again. Looks like we've got the stones of Central Australia back again. We've got the red colour back. We've got the red soil. But there's not a lot to see. We're heading into Coober Pedy. We're about 70 kilometres out from Coober Pedy. I want to get a bit more diesel at Coober Pedy, and then we'll head off on the dirt to Oodnadatta, probably camp somewhere out of Coober Pedy, halfway between Coober Pedy and Oodnadatta tonight. Coober Pedy. my way out of Coober Pedy, had to ask directions like a typical bloody tourist. Oh, I think that's my town. Yes, and I'm smiling because I'm finally off the bitumen. Look at that, a lovely dirt road. Beautiful, absolutely magnificent. We're on our way to Oodnadatta. I want to get a couple of k's up the road here before I find a spot to camp. Doesn't look like there's too many spots to camp at the moment, eh? They call this the Moon Plain out of Coober Pedy, and I can quite see where it gets its name from. There's not a lot of anything around here, is there? There's a story often told, hello, out from Maree, that a Department of Agriculture man rang a person out of Maree, and he said, what do you estimate is the stocking rate of your property? And he said, approximately 1 bandicoot to the acre. And the man from the Department of Agriculture said, 1 bandicoot, is that all? He said, yeah, but don't expect him to get fat on that either. Have a look at this. Have a look at this landscape. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? The rocks are just like in the Stony Desert. They're all rounded a little bit, but it's all clay, and there's not a lot of growth on this, eh? Good evening. We've stopped for the evening, and I'm just cooking up my little stir fry, my boiled vegetables. I've put a bit of soy sauce in it, and I've just got these at the moment. These stir fry vegetables I bought this morning. I don't like the others. These haven't got any raw onion in them. We must keep our breath fresh, mustn't we? These haven't got the raw onion in them, which is good. And I'm going to boil them up. They're coming up good. And I'm going to put some of that in. My favourite sweet corn. Yeah, had a good trip today. It's always a bit of a worry the first day out, because you don't know whether you've forgotten anything, or you're always travelling over roads that you already know, so they're fairly boring, so I didn't feel much of that. Got lost coming out of Coober Pedy, had to go back to the garage and say which way's out of town. That's not a bad spot here. We're on Mount Barry Station. We must thank the owners of Mount Barry Station. And we're just off the road here. We'll be down the creek. I'll just show you a bit of around here. It's absolutely beautiful. Have a look at that. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Look at this. The flies are here in droves. It's absolutely magnificent. We're in a little waterhole down here. And there's the sun setting over there. Oh, there's the sun. Sunset, bye-bye sun. And we're here by the creek. Beautiful little spot. These flies are just having their last hurrah, because they all have to settle down at 6 o'clock, don't they, when the sun goes down. But this wouldn't be a bad spot with a bit of water in the creek here, eh? It's probably a stock watering point for the station. My tucker doesn't look all that good tonight, but it doesn't taste too bad. And the flies absolutely love it. What I did, I gave up and put some oysters in it. And might put some baked beans in tomorrow night. The man on the radio said to me that they're practicing for the Think Desert Classic, which is a race they hold for motorbikes and buggies and that, and it goes from Alice Springs down to Finke via the railway line, the same road as what I'll be on. So he said to look out for some vehicles, so we might see how we go on that. He said you might have more trouble on the weekend now than you would during the week, but it'll be Monday before I get to Fink anyway. These flies are good, eh? Get rid of them. That gets rid of the flies for about 2 seconds. See, they're back again. Have a look at that. This is what it's all about, isn't it? After a very fitful sleep last night, it's very good to see the sun come up. I reckon I got a lot of sleep last night, but it didn't seem as if I got any. But it's a beautiful sunrise here this morning, and we're going to have a look at a map now. You like looking at maps, don't you? We came up to past Pimba. Pimba, by the way, has the worst roadhouse in Australia. Don't even bother going there. Went along here, past my old campsite at Lake Hart, up here to Glendambo. Then we went up to Coober Pedy. We went up down there, and we're at the moment right in the centre of the screen there. Albulcunna Creek. We're going to go up past Mount Barry to Oodnadatta. When we get to Oodnadatta, we're going to go up to the three-way intersection there, and then up past the flood detour to a place called Hamilton Station. From Hamilton we'll go to the Perdurka ruins, and then out to Dalhousie ruin there. And then we'll come back up to Aringa, and then we'll go up to Charlotte Water, Noya Crown, and then back up to, sorry, that's not Noya Crown, that's New Crown, back up to Fink, and from Fink we'll go straight up along the railway line there. We might actually go out and have a look at the Lambert Centre of Australia. Come up along the railway line here, and come out here and have a look at Chambers Pillar. Have a look at Chambers Pillar there, and then we'll come up along here to a little town called Alice Springs. Then from Alice Springs we'll probably hop out here, have a look at that gorge there, have a look at Alatunga there, and go to Ruby Gap National Park there. Then we'll probably come back up a little four-wheel drive track up here to Gemtree Roadhouse, along here, back to Alice Springs, and then we'll come back from Alice Springs back down the bitumen. So that's what we're looking at. But have a look at that out there. That is absolutely magnificent this morning, isn't it? Absolutely magnificent. I've just decided to make myself a bit of a sandwich because I've got fresh food. I've got an avocado and cheese roll here, and I've already told you about craft cheese, the camper's friend, haven't I? So I'll have a bit of that, eh? We got these repeaters every now and again. I think they're Telstra repeaters. They're fairly high, and at the top we got a couple of dishes Ed. Lovely. Couple of nice solar panels operating it, and owning this structure is strictly prohibited. And a little box there running all the goodies. These are the sort of rocks and that lying around. There's a very clear quartz here. Beautiful. You see the little reflections in it, and a nice. I think it's called patina. The hard shine that's on the outside of the rocks. It's caused by the heating and cooling of the desert. Basically, everything else is just this clay, this horrible clay material, and you can imagine what it's like when it gets a bit of water on it. Geez, but these quartz crystals are quite good, aren't they? Quite break along the little lines. They're quite clear. You can almost see through them. Beautiful. But it's a fairly desolate location. There's the old Nissan Dowdy still running. Part of the painted desert. Got some beautiful colours in the hills over there. Called the painted desert because the clays here are all different colours. They vary from almost a black to a red through all the colours in between. Beautiful colours driving along. Absolutely beautiful colours, eh? There's your blacks. You've got your reds, you've got your greens, and the distant hills are blue. Absolutely magnificent. Here we are back at the intersection we left on the best option. We went down, went up that way before. Now we're going to actually go on this road here up this way. And we're going to go to Hamilton Station, Dalhousie, Fink, New Crown and Chambers Pillar. So that's what's on the agenda, and the flies have come out again. The flies seem to like me for some reason. They were a bit slow starting this morning, might have been a bit cold for them. But yeah, last time we went down there on the best option. Now we're going to go up that road and came down through Oodnadatta. Oodnadatta was very quiet this morning. They're probably all in church. And Oodnadatta's in a fairly good location on the Niels River, Niels Creek, and it's fairly desolate country all around here. But as you can see by the country behind me there with the trees and that, we're in a bit of the overflow for that in here. The country's very flat through here. The creeks run fairly wide, but you can see the flies. Aren't they beautiful? Absolutely beautiful flies here. So we're going on to Dalhousie. You can see. Since we've gone north of Oodnadatta, they've had a little bit of rain up here. We're out of the stone country and we're into the sand country. But you can see that the condition of the country has changed remarkably with a bit of rain they've had up here earlier in the year. The grass, the amount of grass and feed here is absolutely magnificent. Have a look at the difference. No grass at all to this, and all at about 50 kilometres. Well, we're off the public road now. I've just gone through a gate, and this is the lovely road to Dalhousie. This is a public access route, and it's commonly known as a tourist trail. It's a little bit different to the roads I've been on. Isn't the country beautiful and green though? Have a look at that. Stark contrast to country around Oodnadatta, or Coober Pedy. Look at the feed out there. We're going to Pedy railway siding on the Ghan railway, and I think we're going to get there and have some lunch. We're at the first railway siding on the old Ghan route out of Oodnadatta. There's the railway line easement heading towards Alice Springs, and this is the old siding of Pedy. Quite desolate area. Quite a lot of flies here too. There's not much left of the old siding here, Ed. There's the railway cottages, Fettler cottages there, and that's just about it. We've got a bit of private property here with a well, but the line used to come from Oodnadatta up there, just past the tank. Pedy. This is the inside of the old kitchen area at Pedy. We're now in the Witchera National Park. That's the park that Dalhousie is situated in. And the road's not very good. Nice lot of feet around though, eh? We're at the old ruins of the Dalhousie homestead, and still a few palm trees growing there. There's the ruins of the house there, and another outbuilding there, and another building there. All rather interesting. We're going to go and have a look at the waterhole. On our way out to Dalhousie Spring, this place is surrounded by springs. They're all on top of the hills. There's some shrubbery there indicating a spring. There's a spring there. There's another spring on top of that hill there. There's another spring up there. There's a few hills, just hills there. There's a big spring there. See how the spring's actually on top of the hill, and then all the growth, the bushes, the trees and that are on top of the actual mound spring. That's where they get their water from. Beautiful picture postcard stuff, isn't it? Have a look at that. Absolutely magnificent. They got little walkways here that you have to walk on, and you have to park so many feet back, and you have to camp where you're told. I don't think I'll be stopping here tonight, eh? It's quite large apparently. We'll go down and have a look. Absolutely incredible, eh? We're in the middle of the desert here. Few flies. The water's very, very warm, but it's very, very good for the intrepid explorer's feet. They're not going to smell so much tonight. They're going to be, geez, the water's beautiful and warm though. It's almost to the stage of really almost too hot. Got to find a campsite soon. Just on the way out of the Witchera National Park now. I just want to camp on the inside of it. The last campsite before we go out into private property. So we'll look for a spot there somewhere, eh? Somewhere near Bloods Creek. not far from my campsite now. It's turned into a good little road now. I've got off the tourist trail. Nice and sandy. Still haven't put it in four-wheel drive yet though. I don't know why this is called a four-wheel drive track. Probably if it gets a bit of rain on it, won't be too good though. Won't be long, we'll get to our campsite. At least tonight I won't have to wash my feet, eh? We camped here and we've got a lot of flies. But we've got cooking here then tonight. What have we got here? Ooh, what I got? I got a bit of Tom Piper soup, and I put me last of my veggies in there out of the packet. I banged a bit of curry, and so that's what we're going to have tonight. I got that in with a double boiler there, and not a bad spot here tonight. But the flies are very bad. Flies are very bad. Actually, this is the road here. Hello. This is the road here that goes to Aringa. Down there. So we'll be going down there tomorrow. And you see the flies buzzing around? Buzz, buzz. Yes, buzz, buzz. That's all they do. They just buzz around. They don't bother with the food at all. I have really excelled myself. This is absolutely magnificent. Just waiting for the skit on the radio. Just come back with that again. VK5 KTP Portable, talking to VK5 EDM, second class operator.
Yes, VK5 Kilo Tango Papa Portable, VK5 EDM first operator, returning to you there, Trevor. Hayes has just gone out to get the camera, because I'm going to take a shot of him sitting in the driving seat here, talking to you. So we're making a bit of history here, mate. We're making a bit of history. So he's gone out to get his camera. Hope doesn't break his neck over the sleeper here, mate. You just hang fire there, Trevor, while I hang a light out there for him. QSL?
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Tell him he couldn't have gone at a more inopportune moment. He couldn't have gone at a more inopportune moment. Is he still there?
Just coming into the shack now.
Oh, God. Right, VK5, KTP Portable, Bloods Creek, South Australia, talking to VK5 EDM, second class operator. How about coming back, Hayden?
VK5 EDM second operator, not class, second operator, back to VK5 KTP. Listen here, mate, I bet you this was the biggest shock you've ever had in your life. When I arrived at this gentleman's place, I said to him, I'm going to set you up, because I set up in Adelaide in my little radio room, and I listened to you two guys say, Hayden can't do this, and Hayden can't, and I haven't got the right of reply. Now, I thought to myself, well, I'm going to hang around for 5 minutes, and I'm going to give you the right, or give myself the right of reply, which I am doing now. And I'm afraid this gentleman alongside of me was only too willing to cooperate in every sort of fashion. Unfortunately, you didn't come in strong enough, but you come in strong enough to get sucked in. So I guess you got a bit of a shock. Back to you.
Yeah, no worries. VK5 KTP Portable, coming back to the VK5 EDM second class operator. Do you realise what you just said then is going in the movie, mate? What you just said then is going in the movie. There's no problems.
Yeah, roger, mate. And not only that, there's a picture being taken as we speak. There's a picture being taken as we speak in front of all this equipment here, and it's going for posterity. It may even go on a QSL card. Back to you. I may even send it back to you, because it's going to be one handsome man talking on a rig. This is VK5 EDP, second operator, back to VK5 KTP.
Good morning, good morning. He's very curious as to why I'm here. He's thinking about breakfast. I think he's learned to associate cars with tucker. We're on our way again this morning. A bit better sleep last night. Got a good night's sleep. Woken up with the howl of the dingoes this morning, and we're on this little track here. I don't know whether it'll get me through to the railway siding, but we shall see. We shall see. It's not marked very clearly on the ground. And I've promised Dave Warden not to pick up too many bindies under the car, so we can't pick up too many bindies under the car. We have to look after our mechanic, don't we? A little bit rough, eh? Bit hard to pick out where the track goes too sometimes, and I'm only about 5 k's into about a 30k track, so I hope we end up somewhere. Oh God, what's this? I think we've lost the track again now. Go over here, eh? Oh, here's the track here. Yeah, scratch the side. That's the way. Yeah, got the track again. I'm at the old railway siding on the Ghan called Aringa, and the trains used to come up there towards me. I'm standing on where the track was, and we've got the ruins of the old siding, of the old single men's quarters there. Beautiful location here. There's the old Nissan Dowdy, and the trains used to go up that way there. Early morning here. The trains used to go up there towards Alice Springs. This used to be the old platform here, built up on rails. But over here we've got the old. A few flies here this morning. Obviously a device there to load some coal quickly into the old steam trains next to the cattle yards there. Like I said, quite a beautiful location. Same sort of construction as Padurka. You've got the old rooms here. Same, I reckon it's the same tin of paint too. Falling to bits a bit. Not much left of the old girl, eh? the Northern Territory border. The track's improved a little bit, but it's still rather rocky and rough. There we are. South 26 degrees, 00000, 134, 53, 53, 2 at 9:44. We're now at the SA Northern Territory border, and there's the sign to say that it is the border. Have a look at that, eh? Beautiful countryside, eh? Bit desolate, of course. Bit of a gibbet there. And there's the track forward. I reckon this would be New Crown Station. No shops here, Carolyn. What a magnificent windmill there when it was running. Taking the blades off it though. We turn here and head for Fink. The road's improved a bit from what it was before. Oh, she's got the washing out. She's got the washing out, which is very, very good of her. We go to Fink. Oh, there's a couple of Oodnadatta talking on the radio. Oh, well, never mind. Nice road now. Nice road. Always amazes me that you get those little tracks and they gradually get better and they gradually get better and they end up as almost a highway. We've got to Fink. That's the railway's single men quarters there. We come back around. This is where the railway line went through. I know it went through here because there's the dirty great big water storage area for the steam trains. There's some of the old station buildings down there. And the dust is some of the cars pouring in and out of town on the Chambers Hill Road. And the rest of Fink is over there. This plaque is on a little platform here, and it indicates the geographical centre of Australia. It's called the Lambert Centre, and it's all very interesting, isn't it? I'm at the geographical centre of Australia. There's the old Nissan Dowdy to prove it got here, and this is a bit of a disappointment actually. I'm extremely disappointed in this, and you know, the Dowdy Club put a little plaque at Lake Eyre for Donald Campbell. Well, there's a plaque here put by the Toyota Land Cruiser Club of Australia, Victoria Incorporated. The visitors book there. You put your little visitors book in there. It's just a jerry can envelope, post box. Yeah, it's all very good. We're going to go back to Fink now, and then we'll start up towards Chambers Pillar along the rubber. Fink Desert Race start, day 2. Yeah, well, we're starting the Fink Desert Race, aren't we? Rumour has it we might be able to make Chambers Pillar tonight. It'd be nice if we do be able to get pictures of Chambers Pillar on sunrise and sunset. We can't count on that. The buggy's going along here fairly fast apparently. But I don't think we can go that fast, eh? It says no access, Alice Springs. We go along here, eh? We're just leaving Fink. Fink's a total Aboriginal community now. I reckon I found the only white man in the whole place. Sold me a bit of diesel. It takes you out of your comfort zone when you enter a community and you're the only white person there. It brings out the racial difference. It puts the shoe on the other foot. It puts the shoe on the other foot. It's a good way to describe it. The wide expanse of the Fink River, the dry riverbed. One of the most famous ephemeral creeks in the north of Australia. Very, very sandy bottom. Very sandy bottom. They've created a little road here for the intrepid explorer to get across. So we've got our spade there. There's the major flow area for the Fink there. The old Fink River, eh? It's quite magnificent. It's about 300 or 400 metres across. This is for you, Hayden. Here we go in the Fink Desert Classic. We're going through the sand dunes north of Fink at the moment, Hayden. And we're going towards Alice Springs. So, yes, I'm driving it just like a buggy. Here we go. I was looking left and right, looking around to find out where the old Ghan used to run, where the tracks, where the embankment was, and I found out that I'm actually on it. So the view you're seeing out the front of the car here is the view you would have had from the old Ghan heading out of Fink towards Alice Springs, which is quite amazing, really, isn't it? Quite amazing how time changes things. I think it's a bit of a waste that they actually destroyed the track and everything, but amazing when you think that not so long ago that there was railway tracks here, and this is the view you would have had from the engine. Quite incredible, quite incredible. Along the track here you see spikes and that embedded in the road. Parts of the old embankment that were left, they've graded the road. And it's now the actual racetrack for the Fink Desert Classic. They told me to stay off this as much as I could today, because there could be some people. It's a public holiday in the Northern Territory today, and there could be some people practicing. Anyway, they said they travel down towards Fink in the morning and back towards Alice Springs in the afternoon, so the worst that can happen is a car roars up behind me. I'm doing 60 kilometres an hour now, but on this stretch I have no doubt there'd be over 100, 120 kilometres an hour along here, if not more than that. It's a good straight stretch, it's not too bad, and actually it's quite an experience for me, because this is where the Ghan used to run, right along here. quite weird. Oldness and dowdy goes anywhere. Savage, that one. And here we are on the Ghan track again, coming up to Bunduma railway siding, the third railway siding out from Alice. Yes. The dirty great big truck there. He's doing up the road. They're just doing up this. This is Bunduma. What's left of Bunduma railway siding here. Third one out from Alice. There's not a lot of things left. There's a few old stumps over there. A bit later this evening. Using, there's only one more day of this. I'm going to steam some veggies tonight, and I'm going to put that back in there, and with that I'm going to put in some Gardon peas and some and a bit of that. So we'll mix up that, and we'll see what we're going to boil up and mix all that up with that. Yeah, where are we tonight? We're at Chambers Pillar. Look over there. Have a look at that, eh? There's a campsite right under there. See all the campers in it? That's why it's called a campsite. That's where the campers live. We've got a bit of a hill over there. That doesn't look too bad. But this one just here, it looks the best. Look at that, eh? The old Nissan Dowdy parked under the castle. The sun's just set. I've taken a few photos. And we'll see how they come out, eh? We had a funny day today. I had one of my headachy days, one of my 24-hour headaches, so I'm glad to see today over in it, actually. I'll just put the lid on that, if I can find the lid, and came down in a fink. Yes, a bit intimidating. Then we went up through, we had to see the Geographical Centre of Australia, and now we come up the old Ghan railway line from Fink, and we're now at Chambers Pillar. Very corrugated road coming in here. Very corrugated road coming in here. Did a lot of travelling today. I travel here to set up camp late to get away from the flies, and guess what? Notice anything different? No fliesy. Can't win, can you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's another day. We're here at a little place called Chambers Pillar, and we're going to go for a climb to the top, so come along with me, eh? I'll just run you around the panorama of the view from the top of the rock here. It's absolutely magnificent. There's the shape of the rock there in the morning sun. There's another little bit of a Chambers Pillar out there. Imagine what the early explorers saw or thought when they saw this confronting them. Absolutely magnificent. Into the main pillar here, it's stretching out above us there. It's fairly high. Into the main pillar here is the almanac of the rock, and here you've got all you've got some of the signatures picked out in the morning sun. Some of the signatures go right back to 1889, 89, Mr. Hayes. Very fragile sandstone, and they're trying to keep the little darlings off it at the moment. They've got a sign here. The interpretive sign tells you all about it. Some of the signatures there about who they were and what they did. All very interesting. The little walkway along the top here is good. Gives you a good view of the countryside. There's a few more of the less known people who have carved in the rock. There's a good one, AG 1870. Here, eh? There's a view to the rock next to Chambers Pillar. I don't know how this is going to go in the sun, but I took some photos of that last night, called Castle Rock, in the setting sun. We're going to see how they turn out later on. And it's all very good, isn't it, eh? Thoroughly worth the drive in. Recommend it to anybody. It's an absolutely magnificent view. Absolutely magnificent. Beautiful countryside, eh? All nice and green. A lot of spinifex up near Chambers Pillar. All in seed, of course. Absolutely magnificent. Had a good night's sleep last night. Slept like the proverbial log. And things are going good again today. Just charging up the digital camera. Slow down here. Just charging up the digital camera's little battery. That's 240, so I've got the inverter running at the moment. Yes, we should go back onto the Fink Road and then up to Alice Springs. I don't know whether we'll make Alice Springs tonight or have to do that tomorrow. And I can categorically say one thing though, the salads are out. That was wasn't a very good meal last night. So, I don't know, I've lost my touch with the salads. I'm sorry, Michelle, but it's back to the chili beans and baked beans, and I feel a bit more comfortable with them. So, we'll see how we go. Got to pick up some water one day too. Anyway, today's another day. Just going out on the road here, Chambers Pillar. Quite a good little road, this section. We've just been through the terrace section, the corrugated section. But have a look at the country, isn't it beautiful and green? Absolutely magnificent. There's looking back towards Fink, and the Ghan used to come up here towards Alice Springs. And we're at a sighting called Aringa, just out of Alice. And there's not much left of this one. Got a bit of a rail car there, which they're using as a sort of identification thing. They're just doing this for the Fink race. They're doing things up a bit. It's the same construction as the others down the track a bit, just poured concrete. Very quiet here now, except for the flies. And how long went up there that way? We don't drive on the track now on the rower line. We're on the access road. On our way to see the Aringa rock carvings, some rock carvings here on the way just out of Alice. See, the Spinifex is going good this year, isn't it? Nice and high. All very good. This place has a real timeless feel about it, doesn't it? Just have a listen. Absolutely magnificent. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Next to the clay pan here, there's the main carvings. Which are fenced off so that little you can't degrade them. A little bit hard to see them here at the wrong time of the day. We see a squiggle there. We see a couple of figures here. Different from Chambers Gorge, and they're all different sort of symbols. And the meaning of the symbols is secret man's business. So the meaning of a lot of these symbols have not been interpreted by white man. They have been kept for the initiated people of the Orientary tribe. You'll have to agree it's an absolutely magnificent sight here, next to the clay pan. That's where they used to get their water from when they was out here. You can see how the spinifex, when it goes to seed, comes up fairly high, and the explorers used to comment that sometimes it was higher than their horses. That's the line looking back towards Fink. This is the last railway siding before Alice Springs, Aringa. This one has been restored, or semi-restored, as a tourist attraction. Same construction with the poured concrete. This one's got a roof on it though. It's out here in the middle of the sticks. There's the old bit of the old telegraph, overland telegraph there, which used to run in conjunction with the Ghan. And we look up the line towards Alice Springs. Out there you can see the remains of the overland telegraph line, and the last section of the old Ghan railway into Alice Springs. That section is actually still in use by the Progress Association at Alice Springs, the Ghan Progress Association, and they do run a service down and up the line to Edwinga. Very hard name to pronounce all these names. And that's it. That's the last section into Heaver Tree Gap, which is the gap ahead of us into Alice Springs, and we'll show that in a second. There's the line coming up from Fink. Must be just a little siding here called Mount Ertivia. All these names are quite hard to pronounce, aren't they? And we go up there towards Alice. So there's the original Ghan line there. Isn't that absolutely amazing? Still in use too. They still run a Ghan Preservation Society down there. Run a little service. I don't know whether it's steam or not. Following along the line up from siding. Obviously they used to have a few washaways here, and this is one of the last washaways before Alice. And you can see they obviously have a bit of trouble maintaining this section of the track even today. They had a lot of trouble with the old track maintaining the track during thunderstorms, and had a lot of washaways in it. Obviously that's what's happened to that one quite recently. And you can see that they've got a slow 5 kilometres an hour limit on this section of track here, and you can see by the ups and downs and the kinks in the rails that the slow speed is necessary to make sure they get a safe passage through that section there. The old railway line wasn't ballasted all that good originally. This will be the end of the journey. This is the actually, I don't even know if I'm allowed to be in here. This is the old yards outside of Alice Springs. This would be the end of the old narrow gauge line. So this is the end of the line. There's the tourist train that goes between here and Aringa. Lovely panorama. Here's the galley, and this would be first class dining through here. Ouzo and Coke, thanks. Oh, we mustn't forget the ablutions, must we? And I knew it was the end of the line when I found that. But there's it going on from Stewart. Unfortunately, they don't obviously have a proper engine to pull their carriages here in Alice Springs. So they've got a dirty big motor up there hooked up to a dirty big generator, which powers everything from there. And what they do is they sit all the passengers on the old flat tops. They got the seats welded to the steel base, and that's the tourist train that runs out of Alice Springs. We're back on the bitumen, and this is Heaver Tree Gap. We're going through the gap. On the left hand side there is the new railway line, now called the standard gauge. On the right was a bit of a water hole, and the road goes through here, and this is Alice Springs in all its glory.
Wellington is laying down a brand new direction for defence. That's a doing to the Backtrack spirit.
We're at Alice Springs, Central Australia, and my food recommendation for this trip, I know you've been waiting for this,
is the club sandwich Subway from the Subway store. They make sandwiches in Hartley Street, Alice Springs. Alright, so when you're up here, nip in to the Subway store in Hartley Street. I got a foot long sub, but they cut it in half. This is a 6-inch sub. Now, absolutely magnificent. It's got pictures of look. It's got pictures of olive in it and all. And the other thing about that place, have a look at that, eh? I went all over Woolworths looking for this. Couldn't get it anywhere. Iced coffee, Farmers Union. Yeah, Alice Springs is a very funny place here. If you come down here, you'll find it extremely hard to get a park anywhere. If you do, hang on to it. And traffic's, there's cars everywhere. They're all bloody four-wheel drives too. Anyway, I've got to find my way out of the Alice now. I went to the tourist centre, like all good tourists should do. I got a map. And the map is entitled How the Hell to Get Out of Alice Springs. There you are. Map made just for me. So I just saw this. I gotta head back out of town where I came from. And then go down to the East McDonald Ranges. I didn't need to come into town at all. If it wasn't for picking up a bit of food and goodies and some chili beans, I got some more chili beans, I wouldn't have had to come into town at all. There you go. Second lesson learnt, get a map. All I can say is thank God it doesn't take long to get out of Alice Springs. We're at a little place here on the way out from Alice Springs. It's about the first tourist site on the way out. And the only reason I stopped here, isn't it magnificent? Look at this. The only reason I stopped here is, well actually it looks quite nice, doesn't it? Looks quite nice, doesn't it? Almost picture postcard, and that's beautiful. The name of the gorge? Emily Gap. So there you are, Emily. You got a gorge named after you, dear. Out of Alice Springs. Have a listen to the quiet. Beautiful. Only about 5 minutes drive out of Alice on bitumen you come to this. Absolutely magnificent. Isn't that absolutely magnificent? The next gorge along the Ross River Highway is called Jessica Gap. So this is called Jessica's Gorge. Absolutely beautiful spot as well. Here we are, Corroboree Rock from the far side. Got some beautiful wildflowers around the place. Some of the trees have got their flowers out too. Isn't that beautiful? Some of the eucalypts are out in bud as well. Listen to the birdies. Well, all I can say is it certainly is a nice piece of rock. Well, found a spot for the night, and you can hear by the echo, I'm all on my own. This is
the Bluff. I wonder why it's called the Bluff Campground. Bluff Campground at Trafina Gorge. The campground actually at the Gorge is full of campers. It's a beautiful spot here tonight. One thing you will notice is it's nice and peaceful and quiet, and there's not a fly within cooee. I was talking to some people who were on Mount Chambers Pillar, and they said that it was amazing. They were eaten by flies around Oodnadatta and Dalhousie, and they came up here and it was flyless. So I'm doubling. So it looks like the Northern Territory is the flyless state, not fly lice. Got tea cooking. Very leisurely campsite tonight. Been through Alice Springs. Absolutely packed with people. The only problem with this site, of course, is you're near the highway, and because you're not near the highway, near the campers keep boring through at 100 mile an hour. As long as he doesn't stop, that's the main thing. And looks like he is going to stop. We got tea cooking. We've abandoned the salads, which I think's a bloody good move. All right, sorry, Michelle. The salads weren't working, so you know what I got cooking tonight, don't you? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What's this? What's this we got here? We got well, you know what I got here. Got the old chili beans, vegetable garden 4-bean chili. I found these bite-sized baby taters. So I've done my chef thing, and I've actually cut the potatoes in two because I felt that one potato was perhaps too much. I got my double boiler going with the water in there, and this is coming up absolutely beautiful. I haven't completely gone off the salads, but you notice it says it was a vegetable garden chili. All right, so I haven't completely abandoned my meat tonight. It's a vegetable garden chili, and it's 99% fat free. So it's got to count for something, eh? But isn't that absolutely magnificent up there? I'll just pan around so that I'm in front of that. Isn't that absolutely magnificent to be sitting here completely fly free? And the way I've been going, fly free is sort of a bit of an advantage. There's there's a bit of a smell to the Northern Territory, and it's not me. All right, it's got something to do with the foliage. I'm used to the eucalyptus or pine smells. There's a smell associated with the bushes and all the flowers that are out. It's not entirely unpleasant. It's not pleasant. It's not unpleasant. But I've noticed it here. It's here now, and I've noticed it at Bloods Creek. Bloods Creek was rife with it. I think it's because the foliage. I was parked on some bushes, and the crushed bushes, I think, gave off a smell. But it's absolutely beautiful here. Peace and quiet. All you hear in the distance is the bubbling of my chili. And I'll tell you what, even after I've eaten it, it don't stop bubbling. All right. So we'll see you later on. See how I go get mad tonight from in here. And we'll see you in the morning. Goodbye. Good morning. It's a lovely morning in Trafina Gorge. The sun's up on the bluff, and I'm just about ready to get going again. Just having a spot to eat. as you realise, my food recommendation was the Subway footlong sandwich. Absolutely magnificent. I got it on Italian bread. There are all these different sort of bread rolls they make. I should open up one of these shops in Piri, I reckon. This is typical of the country or the ranges in the East McDonald's. It's absolutely magnificent. Have a look at that. I'm in Nadala Gorge. We've got some nice Aboriginal artwork here. Have a look at that. Isn't that absolutely magnificent? And that running down the centre is the ancient caterpillar. This site is the story of the caterpillar. Have a look at that, absolutely magnificent. Beautiful spot. These beautiful ghost gums on the side of the hill. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful quiet place here. Beautiful. Further on in, at the end of the marked trail, you've got another rock here that's not labelled or anything. They're very indistinct, but you've got the concentric circles there. You've got the couple of circles there with a sort of some markings underneath here, connected to the circle overhead. You've got the ever-present kangaroo tracks. You've got the circle there with a line halfway through it. And you've got more here with sort of a circle or an oval there with a line through it again. And some other lines. I can't interpret that one, eh? We don't know what that one means. This one is the star shape, or I think it's the caterpillar flying star. Have a look at that. Have a look at that. That is absolutely magnificent when you consider the size of it. Beautiful. There's the symbol again. Caterpillar flying, or the butterfly. The packed symbols on this one are so old that they're indistinct. There's one there, the packed out animal tracks or something there. The circle with the lines to the centre again. Almost everywhere you look here, you see them. There's the ever-present concentric circles. I don't know if it's designed not to meet up like that, but I reckon it might be just a concentric circle. There's an example of just pecked out hollows in the rocks there. And some older examples are up here. These hollows have been pecked out into the rock. It's funny walking in, I just walked in to the end of the walk and where the sign said to look for the pictographs or Aboriginal carvings, and on my way out I noticed that just about every rock we went past had evidence of there's a rock shelter over there. See, it goes in right in there. Right next to a nice supply of water here, eh? Yes, on the way out I noticed that just about every rock I passed had evidence of a carving in it. And all the rocks have, with the carvings, have actually come or tumbled down from the rock faces. So a lot of them would have been lost in the tumble down of the rocks. All depends which way up they fall, eh? It's an absolutely beautiful gorge, eh? Look at those beautiful ghost gums there. Magic. A lot of the pictographs here deal with the caterpillar and the flying caterpillar called the butterfly dreaming. So it's only appropriate that I show you one of the butterflies I found here. The Aringa pub was shut. It's got a sign on the door closed until May. We've decided to head out the gorge anyway. This is the road out to Ruby Gap Gorge. Supposed to be rough, verging on impassable, but oh well, we might see that later on, eh? It's a very good road at the moment. I'm making good time. Well, I told you the track would get a little bit rougher, and I can certainly say it's rougher. Beautiful remote country out here. No problem for the old Dowdy so far. Well, I can definitely say one thing, the road don't improve as it gets further on. I've been going along here now for 3 hours and it's 40 kilometres. But at least we know there's civilization out here. There was one car came up behind me a while back, a Land Rover, and I did pass someone actually coming out, so they obviously made it through or turned back or whatever. What do we got here? Disease controlled area, please keep gates shut. Yes, right. We'll leave the gate as we found it, eh? Well, this is the park. This is Ruby Gap National Park. I didn't expect to see donkeys here. Look at that. We'll have to call them patch donkeys because look at their eyes. Look at that, wild donkeys. This is Ruby Gap Gorge. I am driving along the creek bed here, trying to find a campsite. Apparently you can camp anywhere along the creek here, up to Glen Annie stretch of water. They allow you to go 2 bends along the creek here. Good driving in sand, eh? Beautiful scenery, absolutely magnificent. I must say that the drive in here is tedious in its length, but there's obviously someone's made a little campsite up there. We might come back to that. I don't want to be too far away. I'll just go up here and see what's around the bend, eh? This is Ruby Gap Gorge. Hard to imagine 200 miners here looking for garnets and that. Ruby Gap Gorge. Very peaceful. We'll go back to Aringa. Then we'll go up the Plenty Highway through Gemtree and back through Alice Springs, back home. See a couple of things on the way through back home anyway. Noodles tonight, sesame chicken noodles, light tea. Had a Ruby Gap. Had a bit of a scrounge around on the sand down there and got some things which might be the garnets that they found here. And they thought the rubies caused a bit of a rush in the early part of the century. Had a big dinner today. Had some bread and cheese, and had the rest of me Subway. These aren't bad. I must get some more of these. Heading up to Gemtree tomorrow. So I'll catch you there in the morning. Hey, mozzie. They didn't tell me there were mozzies here. No flies. Mozzies. Good morning, it's another day. It's an absolutely beautiful drive coming back through here with the sun behind me, and it's the slow speed of the travel is not really worrying me this morning because there's so much to see.
It's the mountains and the trees and the absolutely magnificent ghost gums and the all around us there. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Have a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, we shall continue back to Aringa, or whatever it's called, and go up a four-wheel drive track to the Plenty Highway. Altunga with a mining encampment, and here they've got a bit of a mesh here, and they've got a little ladder down here, and we're going to go down the bottom and have a look in the mine shaft. I don't know how much you can see. Turn the torch off, eh? Oh. It's the entrance up there, and down here we've got some timbers holding up the walls. Here's the old intrepid explorer crawling along. There's the here's the this is where the gold was found in the in with the quartz. There's a quartz vein that they were chasing. This is all very jungle-like, isn't it? Don't worry, it opens up. It's only like that through the creek beds. Always amazes me in Australia, no matter how dry it is, there's creek beds everywhere to show how wet it is sometimes. Looks like we're still in the creek bed up ahead. There was a Toyota that roared ahead of me back there on the plain when I was having some dinner. I caught up with him a while back on the hill. He was stalled and had trouble climbing up the hill. Me being a Nissan sort of had to show him how to do it. So there you go. The Toyota didn't make it up the hill, but the Nissan did. Interesting, isn't it? Well, there you go. We've reached the Plenty Highway. And the next stop down here is Gemtree. I don't know whether we're going to stop at Gemtree tonight. We'll have a look at the place. If it doesn't look too good, we'll find somewhere out in the bush. They've got some nice road trains out here. I've seen them triple length. That's 3 sets. That's only a double. That's only a short one. And it looks like we've found the bitumen. Yay! Bitumen. Blacktop. Tar. Macadamized road. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm here in a highways holding embankment. Little things off the highway they use to hold their big machinery while they're building the highway. I'm at the corner of the Plenty and the Sandover Highway up there. That's north. And we're cooking tea. Look at this. Look at this. None of our bloody veggies here. That's beans. We got some lean ham there from Thin Pigs, and we got our beans there, our shoulder ham, all-purpose spice, and a bit of the kickerman, and it comes up absolutely magnificent. Look at that in my double boiler. That is absolutely magnificent. That's a lot better than veggies, I tell you. And see, our larder's still going good. Still got a bit of stuff in there yet. So I'm not going hungry. When I was, look. Clean strides, clean shirt. I'm into the second lot of clothing. That lot there is dirty clothing. I've got 15 litres of water left, so I'm laughing. Well, giggling anyway. So we'll spend the night here, and look at that, isn't that bloody magnificent? So we'll spend the night here, corner of the Sandover and the Plenty Highway. We'll go into Alice tomorrow. Might have a look at the Telegraph Museum. That's the only thing I really want to see in there. At the Todd, the repeater station. The reason why Alice Springs is there. And then I'll call it Rainbow Valley on the way home. We're actually north of the Tropic of Capricorn here. You know that? Capricorn, Cancer. Capricorn. Tropic of Capricorn, alright? We're actually north of the Tropic of Capricorn. Look it up on your map. Look it up on your map. We're actually north of the Tropic of Capricorn here. And we cross over the Tropic of Capricorn and call it Alice. Then we'll call it Rainbow Valley. Then we'll go and have a look at a meteor crater. That'll be good. And, well, what happens then is really up to the grace of God. I've got to see whether the road into Lake Air's open. If it is, we're going to go down there and walk on the salt. Saw a boat on it last time. So we'll catch you later. Probably in Alice Springs tomorrow. Yeah. Good morning, it's another day. We're in Alice Springs. We're at the old Telegraph Station. We're going to go inside and have a bit of a look, eh?
You see those galahs up there? See the two galahs sitting up there?
Cockatoo with the pink breast on there.
Hello.
The pink breast.
They can talk, they make very good pets. Yeah. You got any Aussie guys on your bus? How about the driver?
Yeah.
He ever calls you a bunch of galahs?
Yeah.
Well, when he does, you know what he's saying. Stupid, chatty, noisy. You know what? They call the galahs that. You're nothing but a galah. That's what he'd say to you. Yeah, so you understand when he says, hey, no, just say we learned it from Mr. Ross at the Telegraph Station.
Probably about 15 at the time, and they could see she could actually do things very well. So the Bradshaw sort of nurtured her and made her into something, and they did teach her and give her, you know, the lessons, and I think she became very well educated and finished. She went to Adelaide with this fellow. They got married and had 8 children, and most of the kids are doing very well with themselves. So it's really good to see that. But that was Harry Kuhner. These were 2 Englishmen, these were the Morse code operators. That's Bradshaw himself, Thomas Bradshaw, his brother-in-law, and that's Alfred Price here, who died 3 days after arriving in Adelaide when he retired. This was the camels when they brought the supplies once a year at first. So if you forgot anything too bad, you had to wait another year. But later on, twice a year, and when the horses and milk things came in, they brought in more supplies and they did it much quicker. Because they just go over any sort of country or terrain, and the camels could only follow creek beds. That's the first male vehicle they had. It was an old Rio truck, 1925. That's Sam Irvine, he was a friend of my father's. And this was the line from the day outside of Barrow Creek. This is the vegetable garden. We had a huge vegetable garden. And this is just some guy getting a haircut. This is when I came in. So if you have a look at this, sorry, I can't see through. We should have that one out there for visitors. This was when I came in, so if you read that, you can understand why they brought us here. Being half character or mixed descent, they put money aside for the government, of course, at the time, to look after children like us, because a lot of us were neglected children, and of course a lot of us wouldn't be here today, only for the government, of course, taking care of it. Like any mixed race children, of course, all over the world has happened. Germany, Korea, South Africa, the war was a very bad war countries, most where they did fight, and a lot of children were born that shouldn't have been, and they weren't taken care of. So a lot of it's coming back now, and a lot of the fathers are looking after their children as they should have in the first place. But my father always kept in touch, so I was very lucky. My mother, of course, was like any traditional Aboriginal woman, stayed in the bush, and I had no, well, when I saw the way she lived, I wouldn't go back to interest me one bit to go back there. I did go and see her many times before she died, and I lived with my dad here in Alice Springs, so it didn't matter to me. And I told him so, I couldn't live like that, so I stayed in town with him. But most of the kids were being dumped at this place. There was a lady there looking after her own children, they were 10 of them. His name was Paddy Smith and Topsy Smith, and Topsy used to look after him. Paddy was there. When he died, of course, she had to look after his children. And most of the mothers were taking their children to her and saying, here, you've got to look after them and get enough of them. So you can understand it was a job and a half for her. She only had a little tin shed. And they had 12 by 14. But you can imagine 60 or 70 kids trying to live in it. So the government saw that they needed to be taken care of, and of course they did that. So it was very good if they did that. And I'm one of those happy kids that grew up here, went to a mission. Because when the war came out, that's all they did. They just said, right, you 60 odd go to the Catholic Church, you 70 go to the, whatever church it was. We went to the Methodist Church, and that's how they did it. And a lot of other children came in later, but from a year, of course, they just put it in different groups. That was your religion then. So when I came back to us, 40 odd years later, my dad said we're all Catholics. I was bloody Methodist. but I didn't mind, they were very strict people, I can tell you, they're very good. But there you are, that was just the way they took care of us. And we went to an island. It was funny, they were getting the army here to watch the road, of course, in Central Australia. They thought they'd walk through. Japanese had landed in Darwin and come right through to the southern states, eastern states. They didn't do that. But what they did with us, they put us closer to Darwin, where the bombing occurred. We were right in the firing line. They flew over us every day to bomb Darwin, so we had to get out of there in a hurry. And they put us on the mainland. A mission boat came and picked us up. I think there were 4 missionary ladies, a couple of Aboriginal guys to look after us, to find the way I'm in, and the women looked after us. One was only 20. You can imagine the time she had. Her job was to look after us smaller children. So you can imagine the job she had. She was 20 years old, left Sydney. So you can imagine how hard it was for her. We thought we were getting it tough. She was getting it harder. Yeah. So she had to make sure that we were all, fed, all clothed, and all in bed at the right time, travelling. It took us 44 days to walk from mainland to Point 3 to meet up with the Aussie Army and, of course, the American servicemen there. They were actually in the Air Force, the American Air Force. Once we got there, they put us on a train to Aringa, the end of the line, and we went by convoy, army convoys, all the way to Alice put us on the train, Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney. From Sydney we went, took an hour steam train ride to the farm we had to live on, till all ended and went back to the island. When I was 18, they said, off you go, you're 18, look after yourself. Gave me £7 and I went to Durham.
Were you mostly
And I've
boys?
been working ever since.
Were you mostly boys?
No,
No.
mixed, about the same amount. Kids here.
And you were how old when you came here?
2. Went to school when I was 4. And they,
4?
yeah, and I just go to school early. There's no one to look after us, so they put us in school. Teach you how to do the job. And these are just some of the children. Of course, the girls lived in these horrible huts out around us. All the boys were treated very well. We were in here. That's when the Japanese bombed Darwin, of course. And you can see there, they did bomb it. This is when they cut the cable off, ending 70 years of telegraphic communication. And if you have a look, it's cut it 19th February 1942. Never used again. They cut it because they thought the Japanese, they captured Singapore and the islands around, they thought they'd use it, so they cut it. To this day, I think it's still cut, no one ever used it again. And this was when full bloods came here. Of course, they were brought in, not for the reason they brought us to take care of it. This was their home, just like a community for them for a little while. And because they weren't allowed to enter any town after dark. And of course, Alice Springs was the town here. They weren't allowed into the town after dark. That was a ruling right through the territory. I don't know about any other state, I don't know any other part of Australia, I've got no idea. But I know here it was a ruling. And they were frightened, and it is the biggest problem. Drinking was the first thing they thought of. The other thing was stealing and young girls getting into trouble. So that was the reason. When I say into trouble, pregnant. They didn't want them to mix and probably have more children. So they sort of kept them away from the town at night. And I think they did, well, they did try to do the right thing by them, I think. But of course it only lasted until about 63, and they sent them to a place called Oodnadatta. And that's on the Ross Highway going east. And it restored the place in 64, 79, I think they do it every year really. Now, if they didn't come back before dark, they would have trouble over it. They did try and get to see the movie. Now, in Darwin it's funny because they did have a ruling there, the same as here. They weren't allowed in the town, but they did give them a night to go to the movies in Darwin. That was good because I went in there about the 50s. And I went in there and I could see all these guys coming in. They were using, of course, bus loads, truckloads, all coming in to go to the movies on a Wednesday night. I thought they're allowed in. They said, yeah, just to see the movie. One night a week they got, and that was on a Wednesday. And I used to love that night because the only time they showed a feature western, it was both movies were feature films. And they'd show, the only movies they were allowed to watch were westerns. Comics, geometry, Raw Rangers, and all that. And I used to love them, they were my heroes.
We're on top of Anzac Hill. I'll just take you for a pan around Alice Springs. It's quite a small place really. Lots of tourists. The tourists we saw at the Telegraph Station were Scottish. There's Heavy Tree Gap. Shopping centres, main centre of Alice Springs down there. And you come around to the suburbs. On the other side, the Todd, that's the Todd running through the centre of the frame there.
Well, it's dinner time again in Alice Springs. And you know what I'm having for dinner, don't you? You know my food recommendation for this trip? Club sandwich. Absolutely magnificent. There's only a couple of things I wanted to do in Alice Springs. One of them was buy a hat. So how do you like old the Intrepid Explorer's hat? Alright. And I bought a bush tucker book. I'll read that later. Had a look at the Telegraph Station, which I wanted to do. And one thing I've got to do yet, I've got to get some bread. I'm out of bread. Bread only lasts about 4 days now, so I've got to get some bread. But meanwhile, I'll eat my club sandwich, and we'll get some bread, and we'll head down to Rainbow Valley.
Tourists come from all over the world to see Australia. We're here at Rainbow Valley, and I'll get some photos of the sunset later on. But even now, it's absolutely magnificent. Look at the colours in it. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely magnificent. Really beautiful, isn't it? And here we are, side onto the rocks of Rainbow Valley. Have a look at the colours in that. Absolutely beautiful. We'll head back and I'll get a couple of sunset shots of this. This is sunset at Rainbow Valley, and in the background you can hear a generator running, and we got the campers from hell here, so we'll have to take it quite easy tonight, eh? But it's an absolutely magnificent photo. Look at that. Look at the colours in there. Absolutely magnificent. And we have another desert sunrise. Another day begins. Absolutely magnificent, isn't it? We're here at a meteor crater, the Henbury Meteor crater. And there's the crater in front of us. I'm standing right on the edge of it on a little spur. It's only a little one. It's been here a while. Fairly eroded. It's a meteor impact crater. All very good, eh? Here we are on the state border. Once again the GPS says we're a couple of feet out on the border. There's the border over there. Right, it says here, we're here at Marlborough. These be shoes up there if I go up and go across. And put the cross on my shoes. It says my shoes are 24.8 kilometres away down the road, so that's where we're going. We're going to find our shoes. Okay, we'll go down here. Well, the short answer is I didn't find them, alright? All I can say is they were such a good pair of shoes that someone snaffled them. That's all I can come up with. I don't believe this. It's raining. We're going to stop the night at the old campsite up here. It's a bit early, but I want to make it at the Coober Pedy tomorrow morning, so we'll stop up here at one of the old campsites tonight. Have a look at what I found at Cadney Roadhouse. The truck carrying this new tank broke down, and they dropped the tank off to go and get the truck fixed. There you go, a brand new tank. No one home. I don't reckon the keys are in it, are they?
Alice Springs base clear of November 122. Standing by for any other VKS 737 members wishing to make voice contact.
VKS 737 Sierra Alice Springs. This is Sierra 540 calling.
Sierra 540, go ahead.
Yep, handle of Trevor. We're just on our way home now. We're just south of Cadney Homestead on the way to Port Augusta.
Okay, thanks Trev. Safe travelling for the rest of the day, and good evening tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Over.
Yep, thanks Alice Springs. Sierra 540 out.
Alice Springs base clear of Sierra 540 and standing by for any other VKS 737 members wishing to make voice contact.
Oh, we've done that. We're just having tea here tonight. What we're having, we got some good stuff here. Look, we got some of this from, where did we get that from? Desert Oak Turnoff. The turnoff to Ayers Rock, we got that. And Cadney Park, I found this. We're going to have that. And I found some more Farmers Union iced coffee, which is a godsend. And we're parked here on the side of the road. We got campers from hell over there. Got many caravans. I'm stuck in I'm in the bushes over here. We got another little car over there, parked over there. Yes. But it's amazing the wildlife you see here. Like you said, you see the eagles in the trees. Sometimes you see some other things in the trees there. Hang on, what's that up there? Hang on. What have we got there? Well, I'll be buggered. We got a koala bear up in the tree. I reckon I know someone who'd like that. We'll bring that back to Perry, and I think I know someone who'd like that. Yes, we'll sit him on his chair, shall we? There he is. He's on his little chair. We're back at Coober Pedy. Didn't take long, did it?
a large wind generator up here. There's only one of them. But it's still quite a sight to see it turning though. Just left Coober Pedy. What a difference in the landscape from up near Alice Springs, eh? Have a look at that. It's all very nice with the reds and the yellow with the spin effects and the little swathe of green where they had a little bit of moisture here a while back. But what a difference from up at Alice Springs, eh? There's not a tree in sight. The deserts of South Australia. They call it the dead heart, but really the heart of Australia is a bit of a... It's not too bad when you compare it to this sort of desert, eh? I was in Alice Springs and I dropped it into one of the garages there to have a look at the wheel alignment, pulling to the right a bit, it still is. And he said the alignment's all right. It's possibly the way you got loaded the car. You know, it's down on one side. Like I'm on one side, the fuel tank's on my side, everything's packed up on my side. He said, I said, is there anything I can do about it? He said, yeah. He said, get a 200 kilo girlfriend. I was speaking to Ed on the radio last night, and he had a bit of a giggle, and he thought rather than one 200 kilo girlfriend, it'd be better to get 3 75 kilo ones. So there you go. We're on our way back to Woomera. Might stop at my old campsite in Woomera, but then again might go on to Bookaloo camp there. I don't know. See how we go. But isn't it different from up at Alice Springs, eh? You still got the red earth. At least up near Alice you got some quite substantial bushes and trees, but here you got nothing. The girl in Coober Pedy said she hadn't, it's only had about 15 drops last night, and they counted each one as they came down. So I noted when I was sleeping up at the camp last night, it drizzled a lot of the night. It drizzled on the top of the car. And you can hear by the radio there's lightning around, and the forecast for Alice Springs was 31 degrees today with an overnight temperature last night of 16 degrees, so it was quite warm in Alice. So there you go. There you go. Between Coober Pedy and Glendambo, there's a section of the road here that's an emergency landing strip for the Flying Doctor, and this is the section of road here. There's the markings for the end of the airstrip there, and we're now on the airstrip. Nice and smooth. Doesn't run all that long, it's about a mile long. They've taken the posts off the side, and they've cleared all the trees on the side for the planes to land, and it's all very good. I don't know whether there's any houses or anything nearby here, but probably if there's a highway incident they have to get halfway between Coober Pedy and Glendambo. It's a fair distance between about 300 k's between the two, and there's the end of the airstrip. Very interesting, eh? Coming down into Glendambo. We'll stop here and have some lunch, I think. Some of Len Padill's drawings here. In the Woomera Museum. Can't talk very loud here.
And then release the second stage, and then it post up to the top of this flight in pre-flight, and then on the way down, as the critical altitude will fire the second rocket to the warhead into some speed like 11,000 miles an hour, and into the range of instrumentation, and so they can record the various phenomena that occur on the entry.
Big Bullock and his colleagues oversaw 22 firings of Black Night. Each rocket had a different type of nose cone. On the day of launching, most of the visible action would be taking place on the launch pad. But for Big Bullock and his team of British scientists, most interest lay in the reinforced bunkers beneath the launcher. The trials were always conducted at night in order to assist with retrieving information from the nose cone. When the rocket was launched, Big Bullock was directly beneath the pad. It was Vic's job to give the all clear for firing.
We will first make sure the launch is clear, and then on the fire circuits, we come back to a periscope to see the vehicle leave the launcher.
Was some of the most important work done at Woomera. The re-entry data was so valuable that it was...
And the sun finally sets on another day. That wasn't bad at Woomera. I couldn't say much while I was in there. You probably noticed that, because you've got to respect other people. Look at this beautiful sunset here. We're back in the south. Well, we're back into South Australia now. We're just outside of Port Augusta. One of my spots here. I've ended a couple of videos, and I started the video here. This is Bookaloo. This is the other side of the railway line. There's the sign that we started the whole thing off with there. There's the sign that says Bookaloo. So we're at Bookaloo, second station outside of Port Augusta. And I like me hat, eh? That's pretty flash for the old Intrepid Explorer. Sort of like... what's his name? Chariot of the Lost Ark or whatever it is? Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Anyway, look, what are we cooking, eh? I've been letting you down the last couple of days, I know that. But, what did I have last night? That's right, I had those prepared things. That was good. That was good. I wish more people would do that. What do we got tonight? We got here. I haven't let you down tonight. Looks good. Tastes better than it looks. Braised steak and onions, a little tin. I'm not very hungry tonight because I've been hitting the roadhouses pretty heavy. Braised steak and onion, corn and peas, and I've stuck some smoked oysters in it. Put in a bit of the old kickerman. Can't forget the sun, moon and stars curry powder. And it comes up absolutely magnificent. Look at that. It's got bits of green, got bits of yellow, and a lot of brown. I don't know why that is. Yes. Been a good. This is the final night. This is night 9, so tomorrow is day 10. Yes, I didn't. I was going to stop at Lake Hart, the old campsite at Lake Hart. But the flies, you see the flies, aren't they lovely? Flies are bad up there, so popped into. Have a look at just have a look at that. That is absolutely magnificent. That. Absolutely magnificent. So I popped into Woomera, and I hadn't been to the museum before. And hang on, there's a bit of bush tucker over here. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. These are magnificent. These things. Hey. Yeah. Oh, your head off. Quick. No, they stop struggling then. Oh. The old, what are they called? The old green-headed, red-bodied, blue-tailed snake.
They're not bad either. So we're going to stay here tonight, eat that magnificent tea, have a good night's sleep. We're not far from the railway line over there. So they don't usually run much after midnight, but anyway, I don't mind the trains. I don't mind the trains. I've seen a couple of these green-headed, red-bodied, blue-tailed snakes around the place, and they're not bad. Not bad bush tucker. So we'll see you in the morning, and we'll drive through to Port Augusta and then back home. Been a good trip. Been a good trip. I'll sign out tomorrow morning, but it's been a good trip. I'm quite happy with it. Quite happy. Fairly filled my time in, didn't it, hey? It's a full trip. You should try it one day. Oh, Chamber Pillar, must see. Not a very good road, but you must see Chambers Pillar on sunrise. Absolutely magnificent. Catch you in the morning. It's another day, and that's the end of another video. We'll catch you next time.